Hi everybody, welcome to the Beatles Talk Show. Today we're looking at Beatles historical facts happening on the date of January 6th through the years, such as it is in 1961 on this date, January 6th, the Beatles were performing at St. John's Hall in Lancashire, and the Beatles' growing reputation is evidenced by a near sold-out crowd, and the Beatles received a hefty payment of £6.50, which equals $10 Americans, what the whole band was paid for that gig. On this date in 1963, they were on the final appearance of their 5-stop tour of Scotland, and the Beatles performed in Aberdeen, Aberdeenshire. And you remember in 1964 in the States, the Beatles performed at the Astoria Cinema in London, appearing in 2 performances of the Beatles' Christmas show. And after the performance, the Beatles go to the Talk of the Town to see a concert by Alma Cogan. But they arrived too late to actually see the show. And on this date, also in 1964, the Rolling Stones embarked on their first tour as a headline act, and the Ronettes, featuring Ronnie Spector, was their opening act. On this date in 1965, the Beatles put on 2 performances of another Beatles Christmas show at the Hammersmith Odeon in London. And on this date in 1966, 2 days before it begins a 3-week reign in the #1 spot, the Beatles' new single "We Can Work It Out" is awarded a gold record. On this date in 1967, the Beatles were in the recording studio at EMI Studios in London doing overdubs for Penny Lane, where Paul recorded his bass line, Ringo did his drums, John did rhythm guitar and conga drums, and both John and George Martin added piano parts. On this date in 1968, the Beatles' American album release, Magical Mystery Tour, reaches #1 in the US charts. And on this date in 1969, the Beatles were struggling through a 3rd day of filming at Twickenham Film Studios for the Get Back project, and didn't get too far, just recording a few bad versions of some of their new songs. And on this date in 1972, John and Yoko formed Joko Films Limited. On this date in 1973, Yoko goes it alone. Yoko appeared on the front cover of Melody Maker magazine in the UK. Inside the paper was a review of her new album. On this date, January 6th in 1998, Paul McCartney's latest album, Flaming Pie, was nominated for Best Album of the Year at the 1997 Grammy Awards, but Bob Dylan would land up winning. And then on that same very day, in Los Angeles at A&M Studios, Ringo Starr was working on his new solo album, Vertical Man.
So my dear friends, come back when you can.